entrepreneurs and my chat tribe. I want to welcome those who are watching by video to Conversations Over Coffee. If you're watching on my YouTube channel, for those who are listening on my Spotify channel, or maybe even viewing it on video on my Spotify channel, I want to welcome you to today's episode of Heal and Thrive Business Hub, where I give content about business as well as healing from toxic relationships. So today's topic, we're going to be talking about the growth mindset and the advantage that it has in your business and how to have a growth mindset. So I'm going to give you some practical tips that you can apply to your life if you are budding entrepreneur. You're kind of trying to feel your way in this space to see if you have a viable business idea. Maybe some of you who may be kind of feeling like, okay, I started out with this type of mindset, but it seems like because I'm not seeing traction in my business, I'm starting to doubt if this is something I should do. So if this is something that you want to continue to listen to, then stay tuned. For those that are listening on the YouTube channel platform, go ahead and subscribe, like, and share, and also leave a comment. Let me know what other topics that you're interested in so I can continue to create that content for you. So let's get started. And for those who are on my Conversations Over Coffee, I have my iced coffee with me today because it is hot. If you are on any part of the world where we are experiencing like temperatures like 95, 97, almost in the hundreds, then you know right now it's not time for no hot coffee. We want some cold coffee, right? So with that being said, let's jump into today's topic on growth mindset. So the first thing I want to talk about when it comes to really starting your business is you have to start. I mean, when I first started out, let me start there. When I first started out in this digital space, and I think that was around 2014, 2015, and I was basically really wasn't too sure of what I wanted to do. I knew I was an entrepreneur at heart because there's so many other businesses that I was starting, but then stopping and starting. I was doing event planning. I was doing candle making. I was doing so many different, creating gift baskets. So there were so many things that I was doing. But when we got into this digital age of being online, I knew I didn't want to really have a business where I had to carry products and inventory, because at times that can get overwhelming, and then you have to know what is selling, and then you don't want to get stuck with inventory that you can't move, right? So with that being said, I knew when I came on this space that I wanted to create something, but I wasn't too sure of what it was that I wanted to create. So one thing about being an entrepreneur and developing that growth mindset, because this can play into not only in your business, but as well as in relationships. Because when you have a growth mindset, when you have a mindset that you know that you are here to achieve more, you're here to just do things that maybe people in your family haven't done or haven't achieved, and it's something that is like a desire and a burning passion within you, then you are going to basically kind of feel this pull that is something that you need to be doing, even though you're not too sure of what it is. But the thing about having that type of mindset is that when things don't serve us, whether in our personal lives or in our, professional or business lives, then we have to understand where are those limiting beliefs at and how can we overcome them? Because sometimes we can be even in toxic relationships that can hinder us from progressing in our business. It can hinder the decision making that we have as far as like what products or what services that we need to offer, what we need to do, because we have this mindset that is clouded around toxicity or people talking negatively all the time and all this murmuring and complaining that doesn't serve you well as a business owner and just someone who really wants to enjoy life and see success in their lives. So let's get started. So I have my notes here because I like to stay on track, because again, your girl can get off track. I can go down a rabbit hole sometimes, and I don't want to do that, right? So the first thing is the power of believing that you can grow. And I think a lot of times when we get on or when we are entering the social media space and it's something that we want to do, or maybe something that you're even gifted at, if you're not trying to psych yourself out of believing that, then, you'll basically say, this is something I can do. I can stick with it. I can stay with it. And I'll just give you a little example, because when I first started out in this space, I just started out blogging. I just started out putting out content on my blog that's titled Michelle C. Riley, Michele, C as in cat, RILEY.com. So I just started out creating blogs on entrepreneurship, on growing your business, on email marketing, and those articles are still there. But what started happening as I started creating this content, I started understanding and started feeling the pull of comparison, right? Where I would compare myself to another content creator and seeing, oh, wow, why is their blogs getting this many views? Or why is their blog getting, this many shares and this many likes and this many comments? And then after a while, we can start feeling like, okay, I'm putting all this energy and effort into something. Why do I not see those things coming back to me? And after a while, if we are not careful, again, having that self-sabotaging mindset, we can kind of look at what other people are doing and make ourselves feel as though we can't reach that certain level of success within our business. So the mindset that I had to switch from is I had to say, you know what, let my content show for itself. Let what I do, because I'm an avid researcher, let what I do basically speak for itself. So I'm not going to worry about the engagement right now. I'm not going to worry about how many followers I have, how many likes or how many shares. My goal at that time was to create quality content, is to basically give people step-by-step detailed instructions in order to, whether it was building an email campaign, whether it was to create a PDF. I was giving detailed instructions. And again, you can look at that on my website, and also have another YouTube page that's dedicated to digital marketing. I will link it in the description for those who are on the YouTube platform, and for those who are on the podcast platform, I also put that link in the description as well. So with that being said, I had to make sure that I was creating something that was that I would be proud of, something that I can say this is something that I stood by, and I made sure that I was consistent in doing it. So what a growth mindset to me entails, it means that through you developing your skill set, through you developing, that perseverance, knowing that this is what I want to do, and you will set the schedule for that. You will make the time for it. And I know sometimes we're busy. We may have children. We may have, other jobs that we're doing, and just maybe so many things. But if there's something that you're passionate about, if this is something that you want to replace, maybe a 9-to-5 income, it's not just a side hustle for you, this is something that you want to make it your livelihood, then you're going to find the time to invest in creating that content. A lot of times we think, just investing the money, in our business, which is also a part of investing in ourselves and in our business. But a lot of times it's the commitment to showing up, not only just for your audience, but for yourself. Because even though you're putting out this content for your audience, but you're basically showing up for yourself, because you're saying, I believe that I have something that is of value that I can offer to somebody else. And if I stay consistent to my goals, and that is the first place to start, is having a goal. Like, what does that goal look like for you? I'm not going to take on somebody else's goal because I see, oh, wow, they got, 100 followers within this day, or they got 200 followers, or they made, maybe $30,000 in sales. So now I want to, not to say that we can't create a system or a process that somebody else has proven to work in their business. But what I'm saying is that we all show up in our business with different resources, with different mindsets, with just different opportunities. It doesn't mean that you won't get to where you need to be in your life or in your business, but you have to basically set the tone, because you have to understand, whenever there's something that you're trying to achieve, there is a process that we have to go through in order to achieve that goal. It doesn't, happen overnight. And if you look back at certain recording artists who had one-hit wonders, you would say, oh, wow, this was a big hit, but now you hear nothing else from that artist, or they have not put out any music since then, or maybe the music isn't as great as that first song was. So you don't want to just be a one-hit wonder. You want to make sure that you have some longevity in what it is that you are doing, that you are consistent. And when I say consistent in showing up, because I know a lot of entrepreneurs struggle with that, like, how often should I show up? How much content should I put out on this platform? How many times a week should I be doing X, Y, and Z? And I'm going to say, it's going to basically start with what the time that you can lend to that. Because if you're just doing something and you're going to burn yourself out at the end of 30 days, then why would you do that, right? You're going to find a sweet spot. You're going to make sure that you create that content. And for me, and I'll just give you an example right now. Like right now, even though I have another podcast that is dedicated to digital marketing, but because I rebranded my business to Heal and Thrive Business Hub, so this would be the second podcast within the Heal and Thrive rebranding. Not to say that I don't have other podcasts already out there. I have some on my website, and again, I have some on my another Spotify channel. But for this platform right here, for the Heal and Thrive Business Hub, this is basically my second, what I would say my second podcast or video, whatever you want to call it, that I've created. And even though when you see this podcast, this is already going to have been created. I'm just going to basically schedule it to go out at a certain time. Now, why am I doing that? Because what I believe when we are rebranding or we are starting something, not to say over, but we're adding another component to it or we're doing something new. What I don't want to do is I don't want to just do one podcast and just put it out there and say, oh, well, my new podcast is out. Go and view it. And you only just have one piece of content to basically, pull from. No, I want to create at least 4 to 5 different topics within this new rebranding. So when you go there, you have multiple things to listen to download, and to basically help you understand this new rebranding, how it may fit into your life, what key points you can take away from it. So I'm not just putting out something, just one thing. I'm creating a library of content. So this way, when I have maybe new people who come into my platform, maybe people who have been there, who've been following me for a minute, they can say, oh, wow, she's putting out new content, but it's not just one thing. It's multiple things I can go and listen to or can go and watch. And what that does is it helps me, excuse me, it helps me to also create content at a pace that I am able to flow with. Because if I am now putting out on my social media, like I'm coming back, I've been out for a minute because I had some health issues I was attending to, but I'll be back at this point in time. So you will see me posting certain things, letting you know you can go listen to my podcast. So when people go there, they probably not expecting me to have a library of maybe 4 or 5 different things that they can view. They probably say, oh, well, let me see what this new thing she's done. So this way, if I have a month's worth of content already created and I'm putting it out there to my audience, now it has given me enough time to now put out more content that can add to that, to supplement what I've already done. So that's another way of having that growth mindset, that you're preparing. You're preparing for the journey that you're getting ready to go on. And another thing that I want to put out there, what has really brought me to this this mindset, not just to say this growth mindset, is because me being out for 2 months dealing with health issues. And when you are solopreneur, you don't have a team of people. You don't have people helping you put out content. You don't have people helping you to, write your blog posts or things like that. So when you're sick or you're going through certain challenges in your life, you have to basically stop and attend to that because it is first priority. But what that has taught me, being away for that amount of time, even though I was still, checking in with my audience, letting them know what was going on with me, but it was letting me know that how can I prepare when I have certain things that happen with me in life, that I can still show up to my audience. I can still have some type of content to help them, even when I may not be showing up on a daily basis or a consistent basis, that I have a library of content that's tucked away here that I can just schedule to go out. So that way it can still keep me consistent and me showing up to my audience. So that is, something that sometimes life happens, but it also shows us things that we can prepare for. So when we are going through challenges, that it doesn't take us away from the purpose of that we are called to. So with that being said, let's continue. So I hope that's helping you so far, right? So I want to go down and I want to basically say that when we are going through situations within relationships or business and having that growth mindset, it's basically telling yourself, I will overcome this situation. You're not looking at what's happening to you in that moment, even though sometimes we can get caught up and our feelings are all within what's going on with us, or to say, oh, wow, I thought I had this customer, this person inquired, but they ended up, not going with it, or either they were saying my price is too high, and, it was kind of making me feel apprehensive, like, should I lower the price because I really need this sale? And this is what I want to say to you. The people, who are your tribe of customers, they will pay your price. You don't have to haggle on prices. Now, I know there are negotiating tactics and things that we do, but when you are an entrepreneur and you're starting out, you're doing the work, you're doing the research, you maybe have bought courses or attending conferences. So you have invested in yourself. You have invested in your business. You're taking knowledge that you've gained from doing these things. So this way, when you show up for your audience, this is knowledge that you're giving them maybe in a condensed state, maybe through a course, maybe through a workshop, however you are displaying that content, through a podcast or a video. And you're basically saying, listen, this is the price I'm giving because I'm giving you value. And because I've invested in myself, I want to invest back in my audience, but it comes at a price, because it's just what I would say, money recirculating. I never want you to look at money when it comes to, and this is another part of a growth mindset. I never want you to look at money as though, well, I got to spend this amount. I got to spend this amount, and I got to spend this, and I got to pay this fee every month, because that is a lack mentality. Let me say that again. That is a lack mentality, because when we say spend, it means that something's leaving me and it's never returning. But when you say I'm circulating money, I'm circulating knowledge, I'm circulating, dollars and cents, I'm circulating whatever that is that you bring to the table, because you saying I'm putting it out there, but it's always going to come back to me. But when you are grudging or holding on to things so tight, like, oh God, I got to pay this amount for this course, or they want $1,000, or they want this, like, what is the value that you're getting out of that? How is it going to increase you in the long run, and how is it going to help your audience of what you are going to market to them? So I want you to start thinking with that type of growth mindset, that I'm never spending to decrease myself. I'm recirculating money in order to cause growth to come back to me. And that's why we call it a growth mindset, because I'm understanding that whatever I put out there into the universe, it's going to come back to me, and it may come back to me in different ways. I want you to understand that every time you put something out there, or you're helping someone, whether with knowledge or with maybe a PDF or a video or a course or a workshop, you're giving them knowledge, and you're basically, and how that comes back to you, it can come back to you in the form of dollars. Maybe somebody wants to hire you to speak at an event. It can come back to you in the form of maybe somebody wants to come and help you. Maybe you have someone who wants to be your apprentice that wants to learn under you. So they are learning the ropes of the business, and maybe you don't have to pay them because it's an even exchange. Sometimes you have to learn how to barter. And I don't think that word is used enough, because we're so much not to say that you don't have a money mindset. I don't want you not to think to not have a money mindset, because money helps you to basically have the experiences that you want. And that's what I look at when I look at money. I don't look at money as the basic thing. I look at money, it gives me the opportunity to experience the things that I want in my life. So money is, to me, just the middleman, because when you really think about it, if you had just, let's say, $5 million, right, in your bank account, or in your house, maybe you had a safe with $5 million in it. Just having that money sitting there does absolutely nothing for you. It doesn't increase you. It doesn't do anything. You just have $5 million, right? And even though somebody said, well, that's a lot of money. Yeah, it's a lot of money. But guess what? You may exchange that money for what? A house, a car, a trip, a service. You may help someone. So understand that money is just the exchange of the goods and services, so you can experience the life that you want. So when you take really that out of the equation and you start saying, I want to have this experience. So when I start giving out content, I'm giving out content because of the things that I want to experience in my life. Maybe more freedom, maybe me helping people, me seeing people, get that aha moment when I give them, when they use my product or my service, and start thinking of it in that type of way, because to me, that is a growth mindset. So let's continue. Okay, so now the next part that I want to talk about is I want to talk about how do we basically focus on progress, not perfection, but progress. And the thing that I say about when it comes to, perfection is I used to be this person that, oh my God, if I messed up on something, I had to throw what they say, the baby out with the bathwater. And I think I learned that because when I was taking this course of typing and when I was learning how to type a long time ago, it was where I could have done the paper perfect. But if there was a period or exclamation point missing, the teacher would say, no, you missed the period or the exclamation point. I'm saying, are you serious? But everything else is in place. Everything is like, yeah, but everything is off center because you missed that period or that exclamation point. So it put me in this mindset to say that, I have to have all my T's and I's dotted, and not that my T's crossed and my I's dotted, and not to say that you don't strive for excellence. I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is that when you are first starting out with an idea in your business, sometimes you have to basically put things out there to test it. It's not to say that the product may not be all finished, because sometimes we have to go back and we have to tweak it. We go back and we get feedback from what people have said about it. Well, could you have done this, or could you have added that? And then you'll say, oh, wow, okay, the next go around, then I'll add this, or the next go around, I'll do this, because now I'm getting feedback from my customers to how to better serve them. So I want you to, again, don't think that something has to be perfect before you put it out, because the best way for you to learn is to put it out there and get the feedback, because the feedback is going to teach you what you need to do and maybe what you don't need to do. So never look at feedback as negative. Yeah, we can get people who criticize us and downplay us, but you'll feel the energy based on somebody who is giving you constructive criticism, based on somebody who's just criticizing you because it is just mean-spirited. So we never want to go with someone who's mean-spirited. We always want to go with someone who's basically giving us that constructive criticism because, they're trying to help us build, our business and help us really see those blind spots that sometimes we don't see as entrepreneurs, right? So again, I just wanted to bring that part out. So again, I want to start talking about maybe and I want to give you kind of a scenario. So let me give you a scenario like this, which comes with a growth mindset, right? So we're going to use a fictional person. Let's say her name is Regina, right? So Regina launches a bakery, right? Say sales are slow, right? So her fixed mindset makes her see this as a failure, because she's feeling like, okay, I put all of this money into this brick and mortar is really a hard business to run, because you got to pay rent regardless of whether you're making sales or not. So you have to really understand your customer base. You have to already know that you have a customer base there, to help solidify that, or either you have to have at least 6 to 8 months worth of finances in order to fund that business until you turn a profit. And some people will even go up to a year to have that money in place until they turn a profit, right? So it's giving her discouragement, because she's feeling like, okay, I started this business. Now business is slow. Maybe they're going to another bakery. Maybe this other bakery has a sale going on. So that is basically a fixed mindset, but it's also a fixed mindset in lack, feeling as though she doesn't have the expertise, and not even to say the expertise, that maybe she's just feeling like, why am I, doing this business is slow. Am I going to be able to meet, next month's rent? Am I going to be able to, pay my vendors? Because sometimes we can set our vendors invoices to 30, 60, 90 days where we don't have to pay them so quickly. We try to pay them once money starts coming in. And that's another way to basically, help you if you are someone who carries inventory. Maybe you want to set up in the beginning when you are dealing with vendors and maybe have a 60-day payment turnaround instead of maybe a 30-day or 90-day based on how, what the minimum order is. So hopefully that helps you out. So this way you can kind of hold on to some money before it has to go out the door again, or to bring in some money. before it goes out the door again. Okay, so now I want to give you another scenario. So let's say Brian, right? He starts a clothing line, right? He has a natural design talent, but he struggles with marketing. So with the fixed mindset, John might believe that he's simply not good at marketing, leading him to avoid learning new skills and delegating tasks. So when it comes to certain parts of your business, and I say this all the time, when we step into digital marketing, or we step into entrepreneurship online, the first thing that I would say is we may be in that place of being experts based on what it is that we do. Maybe you are a hairstylist, maybe you're a makeup artist, maybe you are someone who's good with cooking, maybe you're a chef, you have certain skill sets, right? But that doesn't mean that your skill set is in marketing. That doesn't mean your skill set is in, knowing how to talk to the camera, knowing how to set up, your videos, how to edit, how to do all those things that you have to learn, or either outsource it and hire somebody else to do it. So don't allow these little things that maybe you don't know how to do as far as marketing the business stop you, because if you know that the product or the service that you bring to the table is something that is a viable product or service, then you can outsource it. Maybe somebody in your family is good at those things, and you can basically, again, barter time or help them with something that maybe they need help with to help offset those costs when it comes to marketing your business. So these are key ways to basically grow and develop that growth mindset, instead of having a fixed mindset on, oh, this is not working, or this is, a place of lack. And I don't know if I finished my thought. I might have got lost in the train of thought when I was talking about how I started blogging when I first started out with my business. But the thing about it, I just really just said, I'm just going to create blogs. I'm not going to think about my followers or anything. And I think within 6 months of me doing that, I started getting so many visitors. I started getting people sharing my content. I even had at that time like 3 people who were writing blog posts for my website, because they seen the quality of content. So this way I was getting backlinks to their website. So it was basically showing me that if I changed the way I thought about how I showed up online, it would help me in the long run. It would help me to basically say, you create the quality content and the people will come, because they're going to see that what you're talking about. And if they put these steps or this content in the tips in, knowledge that you're giving them into action, they will actually get a result from it. And I have so many reviews and praises about certain blog posts that I have created. So it shows me that there is a place and time where you will see that momentum build, but you have to start creating that content, and you have to start putting it out there. Stop worrying about vanity metrics, because I don't care if you have 20, 30, 40, 100,000 followers. If they are not locked into your products or services, then just having people on your platforms is not, translating to dollars in your bank account. And that's what makes the business grow. So I hope these tips have helped you. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Share this on any platform that this is on. And I will see you on the next podcast of Heal and Thrive Business Hub. So have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.